So Wyoming is going all yakety yak. Wyoming is going all yakety yak, the ballot title. You got two constitutional Amendment A, and is it Amendment B? Is that how Amendment A and Amendment B? We're not for sure what the other amendment is, but there's two initiatives that Wyoming is going to vote on this year. Just to show you how completely out of touch Wyoming. Some of these states are pushing for a theocracy. Wyoming is just on their own level fucking crazy. So the Wyoming Constitution allows a state to invest state funds in equities, such as the stock of corporations, but does not allow the funds of counties, cities, and other political subdivisions to be invested in equities. The adoption of this amendment would allow... Who the fuck talks like that? Hey, do you have any equities? Have you invested in your equities? Are you like a fucking goddamn trillionaire or something? Or are you just a stockbroking son of a bankster? The adoption of this amendment would allow the funds of counties, cities, and other political subdivisions to be invested in equities to the extent and in the manner the legislature may allow by law. Any law authorizing the investment of specified political subdivision funds in equities would require a 2/3 vote of both houses of the legislature. So what this means is Wyoming is saying, look, guys, the people of Wyoming, we, the capital of Wyoming. What is the capital of Wyoming? Capital of Wyoming is yakety yak. Don't come back. Cheyenne. Okay. In the capital city of Cheyenne, you have a population of 65,000 people. Now just think about that for half a second, because in Wyoming, you have the same problems that you have across America. You have a large poverty class, a permanent poverty class, and a permanent homeless class. There is 11% of the people in Wyoming are poor. 11% of the people in Wyoming are poor. Wyoming, let's tap that poverty rate down to 3%. 11%, that means 1 out of 9 of your friends, family, neighbors, 1 out of 9 of all the people in Wyoming are fucking poor. 1 out of 9 of the people in Wyoming have been given a poverty death sentence. And why is that remarkable? Why is that like... Wyoming only has a population, the whole state has a population of 578,000. So this is, in a microcosm, we can actually, how many people is poor in Wyoming? About 70,000 people, about the same amount of people that's in Cheyenne, Wyoming. The same amount of people that's in the capital of Wyoming is the same amount of people that's poor in Wyoming. And how many homeless people are there? This should tickle you pink. If it tickled, well, 612. So we have 612 homeless people in Wyoming. 612 homeless people. Well, shit, 612 homeless people, that's very doable. $10,000 homes, tiny homes, cheap land, cheap homes, $7 million bucks. That's like goddamn nothing. What's their fucking budget? They probably spent that much just on, roads in one of their counties last year. So $7 million would get rid of homelessness. If Wyoming was fixated, had a war on poverty and homelessness, they could actually wipe out homelessness once and for all. So Wyoming has, the same problems that, the rest of America has. But it seems like 612 homeless people. I mean, the poverty rate, we have to help with poverty rate. It's more than just getting them a house. It's getting them a job in a culture that's conducive to their, upward mobility. But for homelessness, it's just a house. They just need shelter. And the best way to, fix homelessness, get those people a home. And then, watch how, even if they don't get stronger and cleaned up and go get a job and make something of themselves, at least they're out of the way. At least they're off the streets. At least they got a chance. At least they have, some place to get out of the weather. And they're not just spreading their COVID or STDs or AIDS all over the place. So, Wyoming. You got 70,000 people that are in poverty. And you got 612 people that are homeless. And here you have the goddamn Cheyenne politicians, the politicians in Cheyenne, saying that they want to allow the counties and the cities and other, whatever fucking villages and political subdivisions to gamble on Wall Street. They want to turn goddamn Wyoming's local governments into Las Vegas, just fucking playing craps with the future of all these these humble, these salt of the earth, poor, small town farmer, peasant, working class families. They're just gonna throw their goddamn pensions and fucking water systems and just put it on Wall Street. Just gamble on Wall Street. Just get hedge fund. Did some hedge fund manager get this shit in here? This is fucking insane. You know who is not going to invest in equities? 70,000 poor people and 612 homeless people. They're not going to invest in any equities. And I bet you actually a lot of middle class, a lot of working families that aren't, poor, aren't going to invest in equities. This is for the fucking rich and the powerful and the upper echelon, the upper middle class, perhaps some of the upper middle class. But fucking Wyoming, where the hell are you guys? Where are you guys? You have 612 homeless, people, 11% poverty rate. I got some other demographics and I got another issue here, but let's talk about this other issue. So, State Representative Barry Crago, Republican, and State Senator Tara Nethercott, they're both saying, I just think it's time we do that. Both of them, they say, are for it. They don't even find anybody that's opposed to this. We got a lot of good judges that are forced to retire at 70. They're not ready for retirement, nor should they be. They're still doing a great job for our state. It will actually be a money saver because we won't be putting them on a pension plan as early. I'm hoping we're able to get that passed on the ballot and raise that for our judges because it's been much needed for a while. If just those 8 were able to serve an extra 5 years, the retirement system benefits by a gain of nearly $4 million, huge savings to the taxpayers, and that will only grow and grow and grow as more judges are able to serve that long. The average lifespan is 76 years of age, and if you're going to try to tell me that there's no person that's no lawyers, no prosecutors, there's no citizen in Wyoming that wants to be a judge. You just got these great fucking judges that are just supposed to judge until the end of time. We need term limits for our damn legislatures and our fucking governors and shit. These judicial motherfuckers, they've been judges forever, right? You get on the Supreme Court and that's a job for life. You got a job for life. And then they do have, some nice pensions. And okay, I like that argument that they're going to save some money on the pensions. But I think it's a good idea to force these damn judges. Is judging so fucking delicious and wonderful? You like that precious power, huh, there, Judge? You got your precious. He's got his precious power, and he wants to hold on to that fucking power. Fuck you, old man. These old-ass motherfucking politician motherfuckers. With that hard stop at 70, this is Tara. We've lost a lot of good judges as a result of that. What do you mean you've lost a lot of good judges? How come these fucking judges, it's just a goddamn gravy train and they're going to keep on going till 70 and you fall in love with the authoritarian fucking fascist fucking judicial dickhead that's as a result of that? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You need goddamn new blood. In fact, the judges should be elected and allow the citizens. Don't just let lawyers be judges. You got to kick these judges out let the judge be a judge for 4 years and then get the fuck out. I'm tired of these judges being judges for life. That's a good job. And then they get like 6 figures. Judges get 6 figures. So when it comes to making the payment, when it comes to paying an electric and fucking water bill, a judge doesn't have to worry about the water bill. A judge doesn't have to worry about collecting rainwater. A judge doesn't have to worry about water, food, any of the basic Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So when he's sitting there judging upon the peasants and the working families of his district, he doesn't relate to him. He understands 6-figured people, upper middle class, powerful fucking, rich and powerful shit. He doesn't understand what regular working class folks have to go through. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense that the state would lose the talent, skill, commitment to the judicial branch simply because they reached the age of 70. The only way I would say yes to this is if there was a shortage of judges. It was like just crime was going everywhere. And you had these judges sitting around and the bench was just sitting there. But frankly, I think your Constitution and your laws aren't allowing a lot of good people to elevate themselves to be a judge. To go to law school, you have to have a shit ton of fucking money. And so if only a lawyer can be a judge, that already limits, basically what? 5% of the population, only 5% of the population can become a judge. And then, both of these initiatives, you got your poverty, you got your homelessness. So none of this is going to help the poor and the homeless, right? The 612 homeless people, they're not going to be like, well, I'm sure glad that judge gets another 5 years of judging. That judge has accepted poverty and homelessness. That judge don't fucking lose a wink of sleep. Tara Nethercott and Barry Krager, they're not worried about the 612 homeless people in Wyoming. There are no Christians in Wyoming. You only got 612 homeless people. You could easily take care of that if you gave a shit. But there's no true blue Christians that truly care about the poor, truly care about their neighbor, truly care about love thy enemy, maybe. I don't even know if that's... a lot of times people do vote against their self-interest. But because I'm not being an ageist. I'm not saying that judges can't judge if you want to judge up until the day you die, I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. It's just that Wyoming, here, let's talk about, one more big fucking issue that Wyoming is having, okay? And this is just something I Googled recently. The loophole responsible for the zone of death has to do with the Sixth Amendment. So the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution says that juries in federal criminal cases have to be made up of people who are from the district and state where the crime was committed. So, where is the Yellowstone National Forest? Well, it's in Wyoming. Well, most of it's in Wyoming. Some of it's in Idaho. But the government gave it to Wyoming. So if somebody was to kill somebody in that part that's in Idaho, technically it's in Wyoming, Idaho. It's in no man's land. It's in no man's land. So the U.S. justice system would have to pick a jury from the place where nobody lives. That's impossible. So who is going to be the judge and jury if you're killed in that zone of death in Yellowstone National Forest? They could not legally form a jury to put you on trial in theory, so therefore you should be able to walk away scot-free. It'd be incredible to think that either the state of Wyoming or Idaho or America or anybody else would say, well, they did kill him in the zone of death, so, they killed him in the zone of death. Here's what I think. Juries in the federal criminal cases have to be made up of people who are from that district in the state where the crime has occurred. Just because you went to a desolate area and committed a crime, what you do is you just keep expanding and expanding, and those people that you eventually run into, those are your peers. Those are the people that's going to be on that jury. So just keep expanding. And if it goes past Wyoming to goddamn Maine or Oregon or Washington, you'll find a jury. Find goddamn 12 Americans, 12 decent Americans from all walks of life, poor, middle, rich, whatever. Sit on a jury and go ahead and have that trial. Nobody's going to fucking complain about that. The zone of death was first discovered in 2005 by law professor Brian Colt when he was writing about the Sixth Amendment and imagined a hypothetical part of the U.S. where there might not be enough people to form a jury. Horrified to discover that such a place actually existed, he since petitioned the U.S. government to close the loophole. Oh my God. I was just thinking, I didn't mean to... A large area inside a famous park in the U.S. has been labeled the zone of death due to a legal loophole that in theory allows people to commit a crime without... It hasn't happened, right? So this is just a fucking theory. The guy's all worried about it, but he's the one that thought of the damn thing. So Yellowstone National Park, mostly in Wyoming, covers 3,500 square miles, packed with wild animals, stunning scenery, more than half the world's active geysers. But an isolated 50-mile stretch within its borders is technically a lawless piece of land where anything goes under the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. If someone commits a crime, they're entitled to a speedy and public... Anyways, so maybe this isn't really Wyoming, but it's kind of Wyoming, but it's in Idaho, so this might be an Idaho problem. But there's a zone of death. There's a zone of death in your Yellowstone National Forest. And I don't know if you released wolves in the National Forest. I mean, people are freaking out in Colorado. But if there's wolves in Yellowstone, I'm impressed with that. But Let's just point out that. How come the legislature in Cheyenne isn't going to try to close the loophole of the zone of death? All they have to do is just say if somebody is killed in the zone of death, then they'll be tried by a jury of their peers in the nearest vicinity, in the nearest county. Or maybe just pick the damn county that it's in. But that would just a law. All they would have to do to close that loophole, just pass a law. Wyoming, 92% of Wyoming is white, 1% black, 3% native, 1% Asian, 2% mixed, 11% Hispanic. That always breaks the 100% mark, the Hispanics. Nobody knows where the Browns really are. There's 11% Hispanic, so that would be the biggest minority, but 92% white, 11% Hispanic, that's 103%. 1% black, 3% native, 1% Asian, that's more. You can't have more than 100%. The median income in Wyoming is $65,000. The per capita income is $34,000. So that's interesting. Basically, the citizens are making $34,000 per year, but $65,000 is the median income. So there's a high middle class. There is an upper middle class in Wyoming. Wyoming has made the square footage 97,000 square miles. That's how big Wyoming is. 97,000 square miles. It would only take $7 million to build 700 houses, $10,000 tiny houses for 612 homeless people. So you would actually have 88 houses extra. But it wouldn't take much. And let's take a look at what the budget. Let's take a look at what the damn budget of Wyoming is. In Wyoming, Northwest, in my humble opinion, Wyoming is the best of the 50 nifty United States of 13 original colonies. Shout 'em, tell all about 'em. One by one till we give 'em the name of every state in the U.S. Hey! Wyoming state budget, the 2013-2004, or 2013. The biennium. Come on, just the bottom line. What's the total amount? Come on, 128 pages? God damn it. I'm sure they could afford $5 million. All right, this is taking forever, so I'll have to come back to this. But you have other problems. You can fix that zone of murder. You know there's a zone of murder. You're allowed to have a zone of death. So Wyoming, you got to fix that loophole, that Yellowstone National Forest Park loophole. You need to fix. You need to help 70,000 people. At least tamp down that 11% poverty rate down to 3%, for God's sakes. And homelessness, 612. How many homeless people we got? 612. You know the exact number? Mm-hmm. We have a lot of drug programs and all these other programs that don't really help. That's why we know how many, and we need to know stuff so we get the information. How many people are living in the fucking cracks that you don't know, too? Okay, so, to the members of the 66th legislature, goodness gracious. Okay, Mark Gordon. Oh, I'm the governor of Wyoming. I'm Mark Gordon. Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Gordon. So it looks like we got $1 billion for schools here. We got $94 million for, something major maintenance, school land, $64 million. Yeah, we got $5 million, right? Let's see. Standard budget for the judicial conduct and ethics. That's $2 billion. $2 billion for the judicial branch. The legislators, that's $20 million. Major maintenance, $185 million. God damn, you all have so much fucking money. Look how much money Wyoming has. Why does Wyoming have so